Hi, guys. Welcome to an episode of the Domestic Boyfriends podcast. My name is Dean,
And I'm Vincent.
and together we bring you a podcast about comic books, movies, TV shows. What am I missing? Holes
And whatever else we want.
and holes.
And holes.
Welcome to episode 2 of season 2. It's been a minute. It's been kind of hard on both of us. Life is hitting us hard with making time to do this episode. But we are here. We are going to be talking about some news. We're going to be talking about today's topic. Today's topic, we are going to be talking about the newly released movie, The Menu. I was trying to figure out what day it was released on HBO Max. But yeah, we're going to be talking about The Menu, something that Vincent kind of stirred me into, not unlike Bubble, and I really enjoyed after watching it. This isn't a traditional form of media that we have been talking about. It's not Ben 10, obviously our most popular thing that we've talked about so far. And it's not like anything mainstream comic book related or anything like that, but we both agreed. I brought it up as a topic that I wanted to talk about on the show.
Which made me really happy.
It's a good change of pace. It's a good change of pace. It's refreshing. It's kind of the same feeling I had with Bubble. Just to talk about something that we haven't talked about before. This is the first comic book or animated related thing that we've talked about, which I don't think that this will be the last one either, with the way that good movies are going to be coming out soon.
Oh my goodness.
Have you seen Don't Worry, Darling?
What is that?
It is a movie starring Harry Styles and
Harry Styles?
Harry Styles
Of One Direction fame?
Harry Styles, Florence Pugh, as Chris Pine's in it.
Does he know that he's beautiful?
Gemma Chan, Shia LaBeouf's apparently in this.
Whoa!
I don't remember him ever. I don't remember him ever
All
being
right.
in it. And Olivia
I'll
Wilde.
watch.
Olivia Wilde again. I think this is based off of a book. I could be wrong. It has a couple people in here, but the main duo is Harry Styles and Florence Pugh. It's a movie, just to give you a quick synopsis. It is a movie that seemingly is about an old, 70s style family where Harry Styles is the typical working man who makes the money, so his wife that is at home cooking and cleaning for him. I don't know where I was going with that, but those two stereotypical archetypes of the 60s and 70s. But something doesn't quite feel right, and Florence Pugh's character feels like she's trapped in some type of routine. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh,
it's a very good movie.
interesting.
It took a turn that I did not think it was going to take, and it elevated the movie from what I was thinking of as a 5. I give the movie this. We'll probably do a review of the movie if Vincent watches it. It went from a 5 to me to an 8 or a 9. It went up really high. It was one of those things that I wouldn't have watched if it wasn't for the fact that it was on HBO Max. So I really didn't have to worry about going out to theaters. Because if I'm going to be honest, nowadays, if it's not something like a Marvel or DC, if it's not a comic book movie or something really spectacularly beautiful like Avatar, I'm not going to see it in the theater. I'll just watch it at home.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Because there's certain things I want the theatrical experience for.
No. I love it when movies have really just kind of out there casting. I'm not saying Harry Styles is not a good actor or anything like that, because also I don't have a sample size on that. I didn't know that he acted.
Yeah.
But
same before the movie.
what and weird combinations of actors that you wouldn't necessarily put together. I don't know if you ever watched it, and I still actually haven't seen it myself, but it's on my bucket list. I just keep forgetting that it's a movie. Do you remember the movie The Dead Don't Die?
Yeah, that is also a movie that I wanted to watch.
But Adam Driver, Bill Murray, Selena Gomez, and Tilda Swinton all together in a comedy zombie movie. What's the line that Bill Murray says in the trailer? What do you think it is? And Adam Driver's like, I'm gonna be real. I think it's zombies.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that movie. But yeah, no, I recommend that you watch it. It's an interesting piece.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of flew under the radar. It kind of gave me also something else. It was popular when it came out. I watched Black Phone at a drive-in movie last summer. That was a good. That was also a good. It was a good psychological horror. Ever since the Infinity Saga has been coming out, I really derailed the fact that like I'm actually a movie enjoyer and went like, oh yeah, comic book movies, so fun. Because like we had that 10 years of just comic book movies, now I'm like there's large gaps. I'm kind of like, you know, whatever's on Disney Plus is on Disney Plus. Maybe I'll get to it when it gets released. A little bit more.
We have things like The Menu and Bullet Train. Bullet Train was a fantastic movie. I wish I saw that in theaters.
Yeah, another great movie that's unrelated to comic book movies. So don't be surprised if you see us doing more of those. We might become a more general TV movie type of deal. There's some shows that I'd even enjoy talking about. Parks and Rec episode is definitely something that would be fun.
Parks and Rec. Once Upon a Time, shout out to my boy Billiam for his new video. It was awesome. I remember that movie or TV show.
Once Upon a Time is something that I watched with my mom when I was younger. And
me too!
It was like this. It's honestly felt like a fever dream with some of the things like spoilers. Like Rumpelstiltskin being Peter Pan's son.
Yeah.
Like his abandoned child, and then he had a kid, and it's like, oh, I guess. Kind of, yeah. Okay. Sold his son so he could stay young. Oh, okay.
Prince Charming going to give his fake imaginary wife a Valentine's Day card, and then just deciding, you know what, I'm going to give it to this nurse instead. And it's just Snow White.
Yeah, that show was something else.
So it's a fever dream.
Yeah. But yeah, let's look at some news. Let's take a bite of the news.
Hot news.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll start it off. Some Marvel stuff. I don't have much on this. Something to take note of. We're recording this on the 8th of February. In 1 week, we have the release of Ant-Man Wasp: Quantumanium. Probably our next episode.
And you know what? Special thing for it. I'm actually seeing it on Saturday. Whoa!
This Saturday?
I'm gonna see a comic book movie. That's crazy.
Oh, I thought you meant this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Wait, how do you get to see it like a week early?
I don't know. The theater near me is doing it on Saturday. I think it's on Saturday.
What?
Either that or I'm gonna hang out with a friend of mine and two of his friends and see a completely different movie that I'm expected to go see. But I'd rather just leave it up to the imagination.
Unless it's released tomorrow. Wait a second.
When does this movie come out?
I thought it was the 17th. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, it releases.
What movie am I seeing on Saturday? I'll figure that out later. It's fine.
I mean, we're gonna see it on the midnight premiere on like Thursday and everything like that. My dog's joining me.
Your dog is joining?
Yeah. Oh, she's just walked up to me.
Yeah. I thought you meant for the movie.
No.
Oh, it's that kind of theater.
Emotional support. Yeah. So in a week from now, we're gonna have that movie and scene. Probably gonna be the next episode, just to keep it relevant. Excited for that. I've heard some. I actually haven't heard anything about the movie. I'm trying to avoid anything, like hearing anything about it. if you're playing Marvel Snap, little plug in here. If you're playing Marvel
Whoa.
Snap, the season pass for this month is the Quantumanium Path, and MODOK was a released card. Pretty awesome. Play Marvel Snap, guys. Guy that created Marvel Snap that also worked on Hearthstone hit me up. I forgot your name. I love playing the game. I'm pretty addicted. Yeah, so Amen and the Wasp. Other thing that is apparently happening, this is the last thing I have for Marvel news, is, please excuse my mispronunciation if I mispronounce this, K.U. Kwan. If you remember him from being the little, excuse the way I say this, the little Asian boy from the Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Who was in everything,
Everywhere all at once.
yes. Apparently has been in talks to join the MCU with Kevin Feige. He was in an interview with somebody, and that was brought up that he was invited. So that's interesting. That's fun. Who he could play is a multitude of people. So that's exciting. I don't have anything else for Marvel. I don't know if you have. Do you have any Marvel news? You have anything?
I've never heard of a Marvel movie.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
I've got some funky stuff for some DC though.
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, man. We've had quite a few DC announcements, including the next, 8 to 10 year plan for DC?
I totally forgot about the whole...
it's okay.
I forgot about the
got
James
you.
Gunn announcement.
Yeah, James Gunn came out of the woodwork and was like, hey, guys, sit down for a moment. Daddy Gunn's going to talk to you.
Here's a 10-minute Twitter video.
Yeah. And to sum up that 10-minute Twitter video, Batman 2 is still happening. It's going to be apparently completely separate from the DCU. But he liked the movie, so it's still happening. Yay. The Penguin TV series is still happening. Yay. They are going to be aiming for 2 movies and 2 HBO Max series a year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the current plan and sort of timeline-ish kind of thing that we're looking at right now is that the Flash is going to reset everything. So, Flashpoint.
Yeah, he
going
even
into
said
the new
that.
52
he was just
probably.
like, Flash is just going to reset the entire universe.
Aquaman 2 is going to lead into the new Superman movie, which is not going to be Henry Cavill. Very sad.
Yes.
But we've had a bunch of movie announcements as well as TV announcements. As far as movie announcements go, we had Superman Legacy, The Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, The Authority, which I have no idea what that is.
The Authority... go ahead, and then I'll explain what The Authority is.
And Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
So...
yeah.
So... a lot of these are going to be based off of like certain comic book runs that are old or current. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, I believe, is a current run. The Authority, when DC bought Wildstorm, that was their superhero group. So the Authority has very similar characters. It is the group that has... let me look up the Authority real quick. The Authority, they're very Justice League like, except sometimes they kill a lot of people. So some members of the Authority, there are a couple that are more iconic than others. Apollo and the Midnighter.
Like the Greek god?
No, it's a guy named Apollo. Apollo and the Midnighter are the two that come to mind immediately. Apollo is a Superman archetype. He's a solar powered superhero. Has very similar powers to Superman. The Midnighter is like taking what was the name of the guy from Kick-Ass, the original superhero? The girl's dad.
That's a wonderful question. I've never seen Kick-Ass.
You've never seen Kick-Ass?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I love doing this to people.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He looks like
I forgot Nicolas Cage was in Kick-Ass. So the name of Nicolas Cage's character, he's like a vigilante, right? His name is Big Daddy, but he's a Batman-like archetype. Okay.
Because he looks like a Batman archetype.
Because Kick-Ass is just like regular ass people that want to be vigilantes. So, Midnighter is like a Batman archetype, except he has like a supercomputer in his brain and like super regeneration. And the two of them are married.
Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo and Midnighter are married. They are one of the few. I believe they're one of the few openly gay married characters in DC, unlike Marvel. But when I think of the Authority, these are the first two I think about because like they have like a long running relationship in the Wildstorm of the universe, and like they're in my opinion they're like the first thing I think about when I think about Wildstorm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
so
cool.
The Authority is like they're like if the Justice League met the Suicide Squad in the middle. In many ways. Yeah. But go ahead, continue.
Sweet. All right. Well, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll be able to tell me some more about the things coming up next because we've got TV shows.
Okay.
Waller, which, I mean, we know what that's going to be about.
Yeah, a wall.
Yeah, exactly. They build walls.
Yeah.
We have Lanterns, which I am super excited about. Did you see any of the info for that?
No. Fill me in.
It's going to be a
Hal
detective.
It's a Hal and John
Stewart detective TV show.
They want to make
that
it kind of
so cool.
They said they want to make it a very terrestrial. Like I remember seeing that part. Is that Kevin Feige said that Gunn said that he wanted to make it like a terrestrial detective show, which not a bad idea for Lanterns. People like Lanterns that are designated towards Earth's sector pretty much just babysit Earth anyway, so that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. We have Creature Commandos.
Yes, I am really interested about that because the normal guy that you see there is apparently Rick Flag Sr. If you remember Rick Flag from the Suicide Squad series, that is his father, because Rick Flag Sr. is usually the first like runner of the Suicide Squad. Like in canon, he's usually like the guy who heads the first team. So I'm guessing Creature Commandos is going to be a very Suicide Squad-esque movie. Like, you know, instead of Killer Croc, you just have fucking Frankenstein. So, but yeah, go ahead.
We have Paradise Lost. And then to finish it off, and I'm really excited about this one, you have the Booster Gold TV show.
Yeah, we haven't had a.
Oh my god!
We haven't.
Booster.
Booster was shown in like Legends of Tomorrow, I think. Like that's the most recent showing of Booster.
I love Booster.
I'm really.
What an idiot of a character.
Oh well, my thought is the fact that we're getting Booster obviously means that we're going to get like appearances from Blue Beetle, Ted Cord.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which can lead into a whole different thing because you know them both being a part of like the League and maybe even the first Blue Beetle since Booster time travels, they might meet up with like the Justice Society and like the eventual addition of like Jaime Reyes. Getting the Beetle and everything like that, and just Booster Gold in general.
The question that I'm left with is, where is my show about Firestorm and Static Shock? Come on, guys.
The fact that
Static would be such a good character to bring in.
I would be a reboot. I would be very excited. I would wonder. His voice hasn't changed that much from recent interviews that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'd be I'd be interested to see if Phil Lamar's voice would change, like has changed that much. That part of his voice that does static,
Hmm.
all that much. Um,
Yeah. I what the Brave and the Bold movie. Brave and the Bold was like a was it like Damien versus Batman
Brave and the Bold was
thing?
just it was just a comic line of it was just Batman stories. They made
Just
it's like
Batman stories. Okay.
it's it was just a
I
comic line with Batman, and then they eventually made it to the Brave and the Bold TV show, which was just like one-off stories.
I I just really want Terry McGinnis to be Batman in live action. I just want Terry
Yeah,
back.
no, that would I with as much as they do with Beyond in the comic books, I'm very surprised. Like, I honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if the Batman movie we got with,
Pattinson.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would have loved if that was a Beyond movie
Yeah.
because it would be really interesting.
Would be like
And
don't get me wrong, Pattinson makes a great Bruce Wayne, but like he would make a perfect Terry
I think
McGinnis.
he'd be a good Terry. I think he could play that younger role, maybe because Terry, honestly, he as much as I think people compare him to like Miguel O'Hara, because like
Yeah.
futuristic and everything like that. I honestly, he gives me like those. He gives me like Peter vibes. Like,
He gives me young Tony from Iron Man the animated series or
yeah,
whatever
yeah, honestly,
vibes.
and I think what would have made it better, rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, but I think it would have been cool if during the first Batman with Pattinson, if it was a Beyond, it would have made perfect sense to bring in Kevin Conroy because he could just be Bruce. Like
Yeah, for
he
sure.
in one of his interviews, his like not his biggest regret, but one of his regrets as he got older and played Batman was the fact that like since he started like I think he started voicing Batman. What was it? The early 2000s, probably like in his 40s, right? He always thought that he could don the cowl, right?
Yeah.
Like the eventual day would come. And he eventually did don the mantle of Bruce Wayne in the crossover on the CW, being an older Bruce Wayne, which it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been amazing. Seeing Kevin Conroy as an older Batman training Robin Pattinson, it would just make so much sense to me. Like it just would
Robin
fit
Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Dude, I would have loved Robin Williams to play Terry McGinnis.
It would have for Pattinson to be trained by Conroy would have just been so
Yeah.
poetic and I don't know. I think that would have been cool.
I mean, we can still sort of have something like that because, like, we still have other Batmen that exist.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Like, Mike, we could still have like the whole Michael Keaton thing be like old Batman, like a Terry McGinnis. Still,
I'd love if it was. I'd love
I
if it
still
was
wanna-
set in his universe. So he's just
What?
like, your suit has nipples.
it's not his universe.
I think it would have been
That wasn't-
if it was
Michael Keaton.
no, he had nipples.
No, Michael
Oh
Keaton
no,
did
that was
not.
oh no, that was okay.
Don't do that to Michael Keaton.
I'm Batman. Look at my nipples.
That milk.
Yeah, go ahead, go on.
Talk to the Scooby Gang. We can go back to the Batcave and have Bat Milk and Cookie. But yeah, those are the.
I also
announcements
saw
for-
Super Pets. Sorry, this is out of nowhere. I also saw DC Super Pets. That was a movie.
Oh God, I wanted to forget that was a movie.
That was so fun. Go ahead. Anyway,
Was it any good?
Oh yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. Yeah, no, it was cool.
Dog.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's it for the DC news.
Okay. I have a couple things for some movie news that apparently
Yeah.
has been announced. I have I have this thing in the movie news that is not movie related at all.
Well, okay.
We're gonna take that out and copy and paste it into something else. Anyway, I guess that means I only have I have two things movie related.
Okay.
We have apparently Toy Story 5, Frozen 3, and Zootopia 2 are in the works.
What?
Yeah, apparently.
Stop making toy. I'm sorry. Like I love Toy Story. Don't get me wrong. Like we're in that demographic. We grew up with that movie.
Yeah.
Stop making Toy Story movies.
Well,
It should have three legit. Like I loved.
It
4.
actually ended the series.
Three was such a good way to end things.
Yeah, but now that means then the next Kingdom Hearts
I
game will
don't
definitely
want
get another
to see
Keyblade.
I don't want to see the spork again.
I enjoyed the Keyblade.
Yeah, the Keyblade that took place during the first movie.
Yeah, yeah, but if we have to keep it relevant.
I don't want to see the spork again.
Oh, but the cactus.
Now, if they brought back the pickaxe guy from the second movie, I'd be okay with that because he was funny. He would have like so much like villainy there. Oh my god! Literally murdering people.
Yeah, Frozen 3, Zootopia 2. Yeah.
Why are they still frozen?
I don't know.
Summer.
They didn't thaw out.
Oh,
Not sure.
the cold never bothered me anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. Avatar Studios. We have a release date for the second movie that's in production. October 9th, 2026 is going to be a Zuko-based film.
Yes.
I bookmarked this. I know there's more news about like the next Avatar after Korra and everything.
I'm so excited. We're getting the Earth Avatar.
Yeah. Which I think that'd be really interesting. A Zuko movie. I'm interested to see if this is his time as Fire Lord or if this is like I honestly think that we don't need an origin. We don't need we don't need like
we already have his origin.
Yeah, his origin's in the
series.
That's in the show. We don't need like young Zuko being bullied by Azula. That's fine.
I never really watched Korra. I never finished.
I was
Korra.
about to say it. Did you? I thought you were about to say I've never really watched The Last Airbender.
No, I watched that airing. But I do have the Blu-ray, and I've been, especially since like, there's been talks of us moving to the next Avatar, that we're gonna get this series about like them like being older. I am gonna need to sit down and like watch it because I have the Blu-ray of the complete collection for both original and Korra. I know that it's gonna stand up because like I've had tons of friends who have already like gone and rewatched it and were like, oh yeah, it was as good as I remember, if not better.
What, Korra?
The original series.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've heard so many mixed things about Korra, but like I've
heard
just really good things about Korra.
After you watch Korra, I'm gonna send you the 5-hour YouTube documentary that somebody dissecting Korra and its different parts of it.
Oh God.
That I don't like to. I've said this multiple times to people. I don't like to hate on media. I don't like to dislike things because I'm at the age now, and we're in like that time where like our time is precious. We can't just waste our time like with 3-hour movies anymore because that's what the standard is. I hope everything's good. I try to find the good in a lot of things just because it's easier that way, and it's a lot more energy trying to hate on something.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed Korra for what it was. It's not The Last Airbender. It's not the same thing. It's Korra's story. It's what the writers made it to be. It's not the same as Aang's. They take place in the same universe, but it's just so hard to compare these different things, despite them obviously being the sequel to it.
Well, it's also just trying to tell like it's not just that it's Korra's story. It's just a completely different story.
Yeah, it's a completely different story, and if we're being honest, it's honestly a completely different world than what the Aang's story took place in.
They have cars.
Yeah, they do. They do have
Aang
cars.
Killed cabbages.
Yeah, Aang rode on a bison.
Cabbage Corp.
Yeah,
that's all I know about Korra. The cabbage guy has like a corporation, and he like gets arrested or something because like money laundering. I don't know.
Oh man.
My Cabbage Corp.
Yeah, that's all I have for movie news. If you have anything to add.
I do. AMC is kind of messed up. You know?
Tell me.
They've announced a new ticket pricing method that they're going to be implementing based off of where the seats are in the theater. Seats closer to the center of the theater are going to be more expensive than seats around. Yeah. Elijah Wood actually came out and was like, this is so messed up. Our society for years has been just like built to like make poor people feel even worse about being poor, and this is just bringing it to like new lows. I'm like, yeah, no, I completely agree. That's just stupid. Thank goodness the only theater near me is like a Cinemark or an Imagine.
Yeah,
that's so like that feels dirty.
Yeah,
you're already paying so much money for
normal theater tickets.
Going to a theater
now, like they're like $15-$16 now.
Yeah, I will say, like, there's no confirmation on like. I don't think there's any confirmation on like what the pricing is going to be, but if it's like maybe like, you know, a discount and like making it's not changing the high end but changing the low end for where the ticket is, that would be cool. But you know, this is the real world, and that's probably for sure not going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, me and Kenneth.
What theater do you have? You?
We have a Cinemark. Me and Kenneth go to a Cinemark.
Let's go.
Yeah, so
let's go.
Like, so what we usually do, because James lives in Cincinnati, so like the last time we saw a movie with him was like when Sonic released, but it used to just be us coming to the movies. I buy the tickets because I'm better on like time and coordination for buying them, and then Kenneth just grabs the snacks. We pay like together. We pay like somewhere
$50-$60, right?
Like $60 or $70, like because the tickets are like 30 something, and then like we get snacks and like, you know, oh, I want my icy $13. It's like, whoa, like I don't even have the cool cup.
Yeah, no.
And the cool cup's like $20.
I should have.
Ridiculous.
They should just give me the Infinity Gauntlet cup holder thing that I have to wear on my hand that you can't like open bottles with.
Yeah, no.
Do you know?
It's the one from Avengers Campus.
Disney.
Yeah.
No, the one in Disneyland or whatever, the one in California.
Yeah, from Avengers Campus. Yeah, it's a cup holder. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but do you know about the specifics for it?
No.
You can. They are literally only allowed to put bottles of Coca-Cola or Diet Coke into your hands. They like I saw like Disguised Toast did a video recently, or like by recently I mean like a year ago or something, where he went to Avengers Campus and got that, and he asked them to like get a cup of water and put it in there and said like, actually we're not allowed to, it needs to be Coke. So he had to get a Diet Coke, and also he tried to open it in the gauntlet. You can't like clench your hand in that, so like it was just free spinning in there, so he had to take his hand out of the gauntlet to be able to open the Coke. And then he ended up just putting his shawarma in there instead, which ended up being a lot better.
Interesting. That's really sad.
No.
Yeah. Where were we?
We just got done complaining about AMC. So we're gonna move on to TV.
I have notes about this.
Let's go.
Alien TV show in production. Alien, like the alien, like Alien, like Daisy Ridley.
Like mouth in
Yeah,
mouth.
xenomorph. Yeah, like tongue sticky,
Ooh.
impregnate your chest thing.
I'm excited about that. Is it going to
Yeah,
be continuing the stuff from like Prometheus
I
or
thought you were gonna say you like stuff in your chest, but so John
that's a
Landgraf,
topic for a different website.
John Landgraf, the chairman of the FX Content and FX Productions,
MedMD.
apparently has went out and said has spoke about the production of the Alien TV show.
Oh.
The scripts are written, is what was pretty much said. I'm paraphrasing a lot of things here. The scripts are written. I think he's meeting with his production design in Austin, where he lives.
I've been wanting some new Alien content.
Yeah,
I adore that franchise. I know that there's been some like really stinky stuff that has come out of it, but overall, like, I'm just here for a fun ride. If they give me a B movie from like Alien, then I'm gonna be a little peeved, but at the same time, it's gonna be an Alien movie or TV show. I don't care.
I'm excited for it. I think I don't know, the whole like Aliens and Predator, like another movie that I think is really interesting that we should talk about is Prey. I don't know if you saw
Yes, I have not.
Yeah.
I need to.
Prey. Yeah, so Prey is an interesting movie. So yeah, that whole universe I just think is really fun. But it's in production. So a lot of stuff is in production. A lot of TV shows are in production. Do you have anything else? I think we want to save this other thing that I have on the list.
Is it about us and the last of it? Or
No, it is not.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah?
The Last of Us TV show has come out
With Pedro Pascal.
with Pedro Pascal. Yeah. And it's truly the death nail in the coffin for the whole like ideology that there can't be good video game adaptations. The show is doing so incredibly well, and I'm so happy for the production team. I'm so happy for all the actors and the writers and everyone that went into it. I haven't seen anything from it yet. I am in this weird debate window whether I should just go and watch the show right now,
Yeah, or play the game.
or if I should play the game
Yeah.
so I have some kind of frame of reference. I've heard recommendations from both sides for like to do either of those two things, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is consume The Last of Us in some way, shape, or form. They after like episode 2 came out, they already had confirmed that they were greenlit for season 2, which is awesome. Great for them.
Yeah, the pilot got like crazy reviews.
Pilot's crazy reviews. If you're not sure about watching it, just because like
I think the first
I need an
episode's on
HBO
YouTube.
Max episode. That's exactly what I was gonna say, because you'd need an HBO Max episode account to be able to watch it. The first episode is literally completely free on YouTube, so you can go and give it a shot. And if you're into it, then it's just one of those shows where it's like going to be super worth it to watch it, and you can like, you can like just peruse HBO Max for like a month, and the show will be out by then, especially if you get the account now.
Yeah.
Or you can just wait until the whole thing's out and then have an account for it. I like, we're not sponsored by them or anything, but truly, as it stands right now, outside of like trying to consume like anime or anything like that, I think HBO Max, in my personal opinion, is the best streaming network available right now.
No.
It has like the best exclusives.
It has tons of stuff. The only
there's this great fantasy TV show that I've been binging and trying to get caught up on right now. It's a small one. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. Game of Thrones is an incredible TV show. I'm on like season 6 now. Dreading season 8 as it gets closer and closer.
Yeah, it just has a lot, and even like a lot of classics in its catalog. Netflix is just losing a lot of stuff. It doesn't really have a lot of good things anymore. It's even losing like anime and stuff. Yeah, I have to 100% agree with it. I think if you don't have an HBO Max subscription, definitely think about it if you want to support people, like support the industry because it has a ton of stuff.
Also, based off of the topics and things that we usually cover, you probably already have an HBO Max subscription because a lot of the things that we have already covered and will continue to cover or cover in the future are going to be things that you can find on HBO Max,
Including the topic of
10.
today's episode.
Oh, yeah, including today's episode topic, the menu.
Yeah, but we'll get there in a minute.
But the last thing I want to bring up about it for The Last of Us, viewership overall is skyrocketing and just continuing to skyrocket. It's what episode 4 is about to come out on Friday, 2 days earlier than it's usual because it usually releases on Sunday. They're releasing it on Friday because Sunday is the Super Bowl and nobody wants to compete with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
I don't watch football. I don't do sports.
Yeah,
I am like on the side now door dashing. So I'm really excited to be door dashing the entire Super Bowl. There's a person who made like $260 in 3 hours last year doing DoorDash in my area. So like I'm gonna make some good money. But it's the viewership is also up by 60% since the premiere. That's insane.
That's crazy.
Great for them. Outstanding job. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
And I have one more thing to bring up for TV. Star Wars Visions 2 or Visions Volume 2. We don't have like the most information about it yet, but we do have a confirmed animation studio now for one of the episodes. And it is a animation studio that I hold near and dear to my heart. Aardman Animations, the people who make Wallace and Gromit, are going to have a short in Star Wars Visions Volume 2.
Interesting.
I am over the moon about that. That's so cool. That's so fun. Star Wars Visions was so much fun. I'm so excited that they're continuing with it, and I hope they just like keep continuing with it.
Yeah, no, Visions, I feel like it was when they released like their whole, what was that, back in like 2019 or 2020? When they released,
I think it was 2020.
They released their whole like vision board. I was like, oh, I wonder what this is going to be. And honestly, out of everything,
One of my favorite things.
I'm going to say I loved Obi-Wan, but like Visions definitely competes with it. It also competes with The Mandalorian whenever The Mandalorian's out.
Yeah.
But solidly holds its spot as like my favorite thing that has come out.
It's just fun.
Yeah, no,
it's Star Wars fun. That's all it has to be.
Yep. We're gonna dial it over to a more demeaning tone. I don't know the proper word. Sad tone.
Tell me more.
Okay. Justin Roiland left Adult Swim. For those who don't know, he was the co-creator of Rick and Morty. He was also what was his production studio?
It's also the voice for like 90% of the cast.
Squanch Games.
Rick and Morty.
Squanch Games.
Squanch Games for High on Life.
Yeah, so he also left that. Reasons for him leaving, you can look it up yourself. We're not going to be gossip news or anything like that. But he left. They did say that they were continuing Rick and Morty.
Don't know how.
Yeah, there's voice. The thing about
he's not been a part of the writing team for a very long time, apparently.
But he does obviously voice a large portion of the cast,
including the main two characters of the show.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be one of those like odd transitions. Like I've been 10 on the mind. It's like the voice actors for the aliens changing, but on a very different level because we're gonna hear the voice. It's either gonna be people trying to mimic his original impressions of the characters, or they're just gonna give them new voices. So, however they take it, I'm eager to see. But yeah, just something I just wanted to bring up. I'm a casual consumer of Rick and Morty, and High on Life is a pretty great game. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
I got no comic news. I haven't read comics in a while. There are some things going on. That is for sure.
There.
Mr. Sinister killed. I do know something. Mr. Sinister took over the entirety of the Marvel universe. I know that.
Oh, that's fun.
That's about it. Anyway,
Eddie Brock is confirmed to never be Venom again.
yeah, we'll see about that.
And the Joker is pregnant.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're done. Anyway, video game news.
Yeah.
That is something. I don't want to talk about that.
I want to know, but I also don't want to know so bad. I forgot about.
Yeah. So, I just sent Vincent something from Twitter. Don't judge me for using it. A company NYXI Nixie has created a GameCube style aesthetic Switch controller. I'm remembering this from the last time I read anything about this article.
It's not just any GameCube controller; it's the Wavebird,
Yes.
the original
Yes.
wireless GameCube controller.
Yes.
It's so chunky. That C-stick looks disgusting.
Yes. It also seems like it is very wide when connected to like the actual controller base, which concerns me. Like the distance between the D-pad and the
Joy-Cons.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons.
Oh my god.
Yeah. My concern is the distance between the D-pad and the joystick, between the D-pad and the C-stick. Yeah, but I am excited about it. Apparently, it only has like a 3 or 4 hour life, battery life. But yeah, that's kind of depressing. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. It looks cool. I might buy one. They're on pre-order. I have a couple things. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I loved Fallen Order, so I just wanted to bring it up to you. You already know about it. You got that gameplay. I saw a little bit of it. Looks interesting. And then Tekken 8 is having a crossover with, what was it? Baki, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Huh.
Is it Baki? Oh, wait, no.
I know that Overwatch 2 is having a crossover with One Punch Man.
Yes, Tekken 8 is having a Baki crossover. Baki's going to be in the game.
That's sick. That actually might get me to buy Tekken 8.
Yeah. Do you have any video game news?
Yeah, well, like I briefly mentioned, we have our next bit of information for Overwatch 2's roadmap for Season 3. I know, groan about Overwatch, but I wanted to bring up the fact that they are having a One Punch Man crossover, and Doomfist is getting a Saitama skin, which looks absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wish them the best. I hope they make the game better. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for the first time in video game history, from my understanding, has won a Grammy for best scored soundtrack for video games, which is super cool. Great for them. Assassin's Creed, whether you're there for the game or not, has always had just good music, so it's good that that's been acknowledged on such a major scale. Hopefully we will see that be a continued thing where video games will be able to show up more and more in other places. PlayStation 5's PS Plus collection, which is a collection of games that you can just add to your library for free, including things like The Last of Us Remastered, God of War, Spider-Man and other stuff like that is going to be removed May 9th. Anyone who has claimed those games already will be able to still play them and keep them in their PS Plus collection. But past May 9th, if you haven't redeemed that, then you just won't be able to anymore, which is kind of a shame. But they have hit a point with like their PS Plus like free games and stuff like that, especially with like their like classic catalog and other stuff like that I can kind of understand. It's still a little weird. It's a really cool thing to just have available for somebody.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
If you have friends who have a PS5, then just see about logging yourself in on their thing, especially if you have like a PS Plus subscription already. That's the only thing that you have to do to be able to claim it. Just be logged in on your account on a PS5, and then you can claim that stuff for free. So just see about doing that before May 9th. You've got a couple months. I believe in you guys.
You could do it.
And the last thing that I have for news as a whole is that E3 is probably going to end up dying.
Yeah. No.
Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox have all officially announced that they once again are skipping E3.
Which leaves Devolver, PC Game Show, Bethesda.
And that's about it.
There's a couple. There's the Indie Game Show.
But it's kind of sad to see that E3's just become the small stuff now.
Yeah,
because those are the things that draw people to watch
which
it.
All of those developers kind of do their own thing. Like they do like small directs now. Like just like how PlayStation does State of Play, all of that. It's really sad because E3, like you said, it's like a gamer culture phenomenon. It's something that we all hyped for during July and June. We got our bingo cards out. We were predicting everything, and it was literally, I think, pre-3 didn't have a lot, but like those three made up the first 3 days of E3. It usually went like Microsoft or Sony, then the other one afterwards, then Nintendo, and then the day after would be the day that all of the people there would do demos. We'd usually have the 4th day being when the Treehouse happened, so Nintendo Treehouse, they would play all of the games that they had demos for, that they announced, or any new DLCs and stuff. And of course, that was pretty much like the big day that people weren't in conferences, so they would be able to play anything that was on display. Yeah, it is very sad that E3 is dying. But, I mean, ever since COVID shut down the world for a year, it kind of it honestly made people think, like, do we really need to spend all this money? We can just show it off in a video. Yeah, Nintendo was already doing it, but I think that kind of drove State of Play and whatever Microsoft calls theirs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Do you have any anime or manga?
No. Oh, wait. I'm silly. There is some more stuff that was happening that literally happened today.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we had a Nintendo Direct, speaking of which, where quite a few things were announced and shown off. I don't have any of the info pulled up in front of me, but you can look up Nintendo Direct February 8th, 2023, and you can find all of that info laid out on probably like a Screen Rant or Game Rant article. But some pretty cool stuff was shown off. Metroid Prime Remastered is happening and coming out on the Switch. It'll be $40 as opposed to $60, which is great.
Woohoo.
I know, woohoo, having to spend $40 on a game that's already come out. But as somebody who's never played Metroid Prime and is now potentially going to have an option to be able to play it on like a slightly better looking thing and then have it on the go with my Switch if my Joy-Cons ever functioned. I'm very excited about it. we had our first trailer in literally months of the Breath of the Wild sequel, Tears of the Kingdom. Rest in peace, the Queen. But it is coming out this year. I think they said it was coming out May 23rd.
Yeah, 5/23.
I'm so excited. You can fly a drone. You can drive a car that looks like it was made from that from Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. But I'm just so excited to go back and play a new Breath of the Wild again. It's still kind of weird to me that they're doing a sequel to a Zelda game because they don't do that often. But I mean, Breath of the Wild was such an awesome and unique game that like I just was hoping and frothing at the mouth at the idea of them actually going and making a sequel to it.
I want to contradict you real quick. A few of the Zelda games are actually sequels.
Oh yeah, a few of them, but like
Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. I think
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Oh no, even like in the main line they have Link to the Past, or no, I think it's Link Awakens.
Well, they follow a timeline for sure.
No, but some of them are like direct sequels. Like I think Link's Awakening or Link to the Past directly goes into Oracle of the Seasons or Oracle of the Ages. And then Majora's Mask is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, of course.
And then Minish Cap is a prequel to Four Swords Adventure.
Yes, absolutely. It has happened a good chunk of times, but like, you know, in the overall thing.
Yes. Especially like thematically. We're just picking up right where the story left off.
This is a direct sequel.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is literally minutes after you beat the game in the first game. Unlike the rest of them, which are like they had an epilogue and then there's a new story. But yeah. Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4?
Yeah, I'm a big Pikmin fan. I saw the
I've
Pikmins.
never played Pikmin before.
Pikmin is a resource / strategy puzzle game.
Pikmin in my head it's always been like one of those like super unique games, sort of like up there like WarioWare Smooth Moves, where like I just look at it and I'm like, oh, this is a Nintendo game, and that's not a bad thing. That's just like indicative of like how unique Nintendo games can look as opposed to like other companies and how their stuff is like really hardcore realistic stuff.
Yeah,
like Nintendo's always been sort of about like the fun and like pushing boundaries, and
it's a lot. Like it keeps those Nintendo classic things, like original Nintendo games. Like you didn't just have the base adventure game or whatever it was. Like Kirby is the perfect example, I think, of when I think of like classic Nintendo games and how they act.
Yeah, you
had like the story, you had mini games, and then Nintendo loves fucking collectibles. Like,
oh my god, they love collectathons.
So
and like little things that you find that you get additions for like 100%ing or whatever.
Yeah, Pikmin has resource management, it has strategy, combat, puzzles, and there's a shit ton of collecting. So
yeah,
it's a game that I think you should definitely jump on the first game for. It's on the Wii.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if you start with Pikmin 4 and then you work your way back, you're going to be like, oh, it's a game that builds upon itself with, if you know the pre-existing controls and how everything functions, it'll help as you go on. But I feel like it's worse if you just start stripping away things that you know.
Probably. That's kind of how it was for me in trying to go and play Kingdom Hearts 1 after playing and beating Kingdom Hearts 2.
I was just like, where are my drive forms?
Why am I moving so slow?
Why am I not fast? I bet that's how people played 3. Imagine playing 3 and then going to 1. It's like, why can't I lock on? I am going to dash through some anime and manga news because
for sure.
We're gonna go through anime and manga real quick because we have spent some time on this. Psycho Pass Providence is a movie that's releasing May 12th in Japan. I know there's people interested about that.
Psychopaths.
The Seven Deadly Sins, Four Nights of the Apocalypse, which is a sequel series to the original Seven Deadly Sins series, is releasing in 2023. For those who saw the original movie that introduced the characters, it's not in the same animation style. It's like a 3D CGI animation. It's not that. It's more of the traditional style. And Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King is 2 months out. I think a month and a half out from release. Just wanted to bring those up real quick, and let's dive straight into the menu. Before we even start it, 1 to 10, what do you give it?
10.
10?
Yeah. I'd give it a 10. I went into that with like literally no expectation, and I loved every second of it.
I give it a 9.
There we go.
Yeah. So I think it'd be funny if we just went through the menu by the menu.
by the menu items, yeah,
menu.
for sure. We're greeted at the start of the movie with a nice plate of lemon caviar served on raw oyster with what is that? Mignonet.
Yeah, Mignonet. I don't know.
Oh, very Japanese way of pronouncing it.
So,
Mignonet.
So the movie starts off with our. I debate to say both of them are the main characters. It's more like the main character and the guy that's
and
there.
then Tyler.
Yeah. So Anya Taylor. This is so funny because
Margot.
Well, Anya Taylor-Johnson. And,
You're not a Margot.
And I forget the name of. I forget this guy's name.
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult. They're
his character is Tyler.
They're both actors who have played X-Men characters.
Yes.
He was Beast in X-Men First Class and like the Phoenix Saga movies. Yeah. And she was Magic in the New Mutants movie. The entire time in the movie I was just like, I can't unsee this at all.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so the movie starts.
I knew he looked familiar.
The movie starts off in kind of like a casual introduction where we see Tyler and Margot standing at a dock. That's how it starts?
And we're
out,
not.
Right?
Yeah. We're not
okay.
really sure of their relationship.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is just revealed in the movie,
which I love.
But Tyler has gotten them a couple seats to a very exclusive dinner with
I think the cost was like $2,500 a head.
That's what he said or something like that. With a give me 1 second, let me just pull up the actor list just so I'm not.
Oh, I have it.
I just need it for names, that's all. I didn't need pictures, I need the cast list. Not pictures.
Who are you looking for?
Okay, we're back. We're good. We're back. So Chef Slowick is a world-renowned chef, to which they are going to his private island to have a meal there. They're also being joined by a lot of people. They're being joined by what looks like some aristocrats, what looks like to be some entrepreneurs, some people with money. And funny enough, Margot recognizes one of them. We'll get to that later, maybe. But we're very unsure about everything up to this point. We pretty much get the idea that she's not amongst her people. And that just starts the theme of, like, one of the many themes in the entire movie. and it's a very calm beginning. It's definitely something that if you're not ready to sit through this movie, and it's just something that might come on, if this is like a movie that gets rerun on television eventually in the future, I don't think a lot of people are going to watch it, because this beginning, although very standard, it doesn't really have too much of a hook, in my opinion.
Yes.
It's a lot of mystery, so you have to be in it for the mystery and the revelations. But on their way, on the boat, when they board on the way, this is the beginning of it all, and they get served what Vincent originally said,
lemon caviar served on raw oyster with mignonne.
Mignonne. Which Tyler eats, and he's the. I'm just gonna say it now. He's so
pretentious
and posh, and it's just just eat it. Just eat the oyster. He's a food critic. I forgot. Yeah. He's a food critic.
Well, no, he's not. He's a food groupie. That's the best way that I can describe him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he talks a really big game. As he talks about the ways that things are made and stuff like that, and tries to use big corporate buzzwords and stuff like that.
Yes.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just doing word.
But he is a reviewer.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But it's really interesting. I'm allergic to shellfish, so I wouldn't be able to enjoy this.
Oh no.
But we get to the island. We're not gonna, as we do with all of our movie reviews, we're not gonna tell you the play.
Give you the play-by-play.
Yeah. But they get to the island, and they get shown around the island by this nice Asian lady. I'm Asian. I can say this. By Elsa. And you start, by her mannerisms, you immediately start to see where the direction of this is going. With her showing around the island, because it's explained to us that Chef Slowick, they harvest everything from the island. Everything is on the island. They sleep on the island. They live on the island. They get the fish from the island. They grow the fruits on the island. They grow the vegetables
on the island. On the island.
They gel on the island. They get their meat from the island. They domesticate animals and everything. Yeah, we'll get there. But everything is on the island, and everything is going to stay on the island. Hint, hint. But that's all a part of the dining experience. After a couple things that kind of frighten the viewer with some of the words that Elsa says, we eventually get to the dinner tables. They sit down. The introduction is done by Slowick, I think. Or does Elsa do the introduction of the dinner?
I believe... No. Elsa does the introduction with the amuse-bouche.
Yes. So the amuse-bouche is... I don't think this picture... We have pictures. It doesn't do it justice, because if I remember, the amuse-bouche was the extravagant one with... Or was it the island?
The island was the really extravagant one.
Okay, the island was the extravagant one. I don't remember the amuse-bouche. Was it just...
So the amuse-bouche was little dots that you would see from the food, not I want to say the food kitchen, but that's not, no, the food lab. It's
it deals with gastrology,
super concentrated gastrology things.
Yeah.
And then they do a powder thing that's not powdered sugar or whatever. And this is where Tyler's character really just kind of made me upset.
I
have one of those machines.
He's eating. He's eating it very pretentiously. He's smacking his lips, talking about the flavor, and pointing out similarities and saying, "Oh man, I just want to quickly talk about Tyler and Slowick's
umaminess."
Yes, I want to talk about Tyler and Slowick's relationship real quick. the way that he idolizes this guy and the way that Slowick just denies the attention that he wants in the best ways is
It's so tasty.
It's so interesting.
It's got really good umami.
But this is besides the oysters, this is us starting to get into seeing Tyler's pretentiousness and how he views himself as a food critic. I think this is when she doesn't eat this, right? Margot doesn't eat this.
Margot doesn't eat like
Anything. So she says she's not going to eat it. Is this when he breaks the glass? No. The breadless plate is when he breaks the glass, I believe.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure he says this to like all of the food is like he's going to eat it because it's so delicate and delicious or delectable and delicious that he can't not eat it. It'd be a waste, yeah. But my favorite part about this is not just the characters that we see. I think Margot's she's an amazing point of view character. And then Tyler is a good foil to it because like we see like the opposite, like they're drastic opposites. But my favorite part about it is seeing all of the characters around. Going from table to table, getting an understanding, very obvious understandings about what each of these people are supposed to represent, the different demographics that they're supposed to represent, and
Absolutely.
also the different themes that they have. Just immediately when you see them eating this first meal, you see a lot of it also when they're moving through the island in the beginning.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When they're just talking and everything. So I want to bring up Lillian here. Lillian is the food critic that Slowick invited. And she is joined by Ted. Is it Ted?
Yes.
It Ted?
It is Ted.
Who is her husband, lover?
Hype man.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is her yes man.
Yes, whether they are romantically involved or not, this is her yes man. Backs her up whenever anything happens, and it's so interesting because Ted is just Tyler, except Tyler aspires to also just be Lillian in many ways.
Mm-hmm. And then also Slowick.
Yeah. Yes. But he doesn't know how to cook. But
he's like Muppet Man, you know?
Yes.
Where it's like just a bunch of kids all like stacked on top of each other trying to be something that they're not. That's the best way that I can view Tyler. I can see like a small version of Ted, a small version of Lillian, and a small version of Slowick all hiding together in just one big chef's cloak, and that's just Tyler.
Yes. Or what Tyler aspires to be, at least.
Yeah.
So, just to go through the tables real quick, we have Anne.
Anne and Ted. Or not, sorry, Anne and Richard.
Who are the rich couple, who I'm just going to go over the archetypes that they fulfill. They are the couple that goes to so each table represents like a different stereotype or archetype of like a rich person or like a societal view. They are the rich people who go to the restaurant as a sign of status. Mm-hmm. And we get some juicy stuff later about it. Then we get the table of Soren, Bryce, and Dave, which are the rich entrepreneurs who don't really fucking care about anybody but themselves.
And are money embezzlers.
Yes. Then we have Felicity and John
Leguizamo, who just plays John Leguizamo.
Yeah, it's just movie star. He's a credited movie star.
Him. Yeah. Who was in a very famous movie that did horribly called Hello, Mr. Sunshine or something.
Yes.
Like that. Fun fact about this character. Originally, it wasn't penned to be John Leguizamo. Originally, it was actually planned for it to be Daniel Radcliffe playing Daniel Radcliffe. but then things just didn't line up. Which I find fascinating and awesome. I would have loved to see Daniel Radcliffe, but John Leguizamo is an absolute perfect actor for this movie.
Yeah, no, he does a great job representing. They are the movie star and assistant that he's having an affair with, or that he's married to, maybe has a wife and is in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
He is,
and she very much wants to leave her job.
Yeah, she wants to leave the job and him. He is the movie star that fakes a relationship with the chef. Apparently, beforehand, has hyped up his relationship with Chef Slovak, and it's all fake. He doesn't know him. And the Soren, Bryce, and Dave all are there because Chef Slovak is like sponsored / funded.
He got funded through COVID by their boss.
By their boss.
I loved the line, we funded you guys through COVID. Yeah. That was a very funny line.
And then Lillian and Ted there, the very posh, very egotistical food critic and her hype man. And then we have
one more table. With Linda.
Linda Slovak, his mother.
Chef Slovak's mother. Was very drunk.
Yes.
Very, very drunk.
But we go through, what is this? How many meal course? We get through the first course. I'm going to say that the oysters were like an appetizer. We go through the first course, and there are so many things to dissect in between that it's just so hard to like not talk about this whole movie. But we get to, so I think both of them are considered like the appetizers. Or at least one's like
the amuse-bouche is a lead into.
Yeah, the first
it's not
course.
Itself an appetizer.
Yes. So we have the first course, which is the island.
It's the most extravagant looking dish I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. So the island is literally made up of the entire ecosystem, tree branches and fucking all, and
scallops.
So
the whole thing's edible outside of the rock.
Yes. So we have all of this. We go around the tables. We get everybody's opinions. This is the very basic interlude. Like, this is the slow part of the movie, and then, like, shit hits the fan by the time we get to course 3. Or is it course? No. Yeah, it is. It is course 3. Is it course 3? Yes. But the island, it gives us an understanding of it represents the concept of the life on the island, the ecosystem itself, and it's like a humble beginning, which I feel like is a very big theme for another one of the interlying themes of it. That this course is a reflection upon Chef Slovak's life. I don't know if you would agree with that this entire dinner is just a self-reflection of his.
Oh, for sure.
It starts out very, very sweet, very easy, and slowly progresses into things that are not just complex, but also like messy and finely detailed as to parallel like his life both becoming more complicated and more, I don't know, like it's just like growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what did you think of Chef Slovak
as a character
throughout the movie? As a character, as well as the actor himself.
Well, I enjoy the actor. He's in a lot of great things.
I adore him. I did not realize until the end of the movie, and it was explained to me afterwards, that he was Voldemort. Which makes me laugh so hard because I was just thinking the entire time that he would just pull out a gun and be like,
Slovic's character, I think Slovic's character is my favorite character
I'd agree with that.
because it's very, there are many parallels, and there's many ways to look into his life through the entire movie, not just with the obvious like exposition of him explaining things to Margot and things that Margot finds later on in the movie. But like I said, the entire course, in my opinion, kind of reflects him, and he explains it throughout the entire dinner, and what each meal means. But this all being his final hurrah in life is, I don't know, there's something poetic about it. I think that's the entire deal with this movie, is that it's supposed to be poetic and have this message. But no, I love the way that it's presented. I love the way that like he gets mad at Margot. So in the beginning, when they sit down, or when they even come off the dock, Tyler has to explain that this isn't his original date, that Margot is a substitute, and it just throws Slovak off so much because he was expecting another pretentious, like, you know, rich, egotistical
I'm really
person.
interested to like think about and like potentially find out at some point in the future, although I don't know if they'll ever go in depth about it, but who Tyler was originally supposed to bring.
Yeah, we can expect it to be probably his
like, I'm assuming it's his like partner or whatever,
Yeah.
and he just couldn't go through with it because of reasons we'll get into.
Yeah, and whether or not those reasons were legitimately of feeling, or the fact that he legitimately just couldn't take her because they were just fighting with each other. I also think the reason could also be more of a thing on Tyler's philosophical standpoint. The fact that he didn't think that she deserved the ending that they were all going to get, the final dessert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I enjoyed Slovic's character.
What's the line that Elsa says at the start? You will all eat your fill and not be full, or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
You will all eat more, eat less than you need, but more than you deserve. That's what it was. I feel like that's what it was. It's such a the writing, the script on this, so good. Oh my goodness. And as somebody like who used to like who worked in the kitchen for like half a year, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It was kind of traumatizing at times.
Yeah, no. Also working in the restaurant industry, I understand. But I mean, that's the entire point of this.
Yeah.
The breadless bread plate.
Genius.
Interesting. The breaking emulsion scene, and then he just fucking brought out the bowl.
Oh my god,
like,
my emulsion's broken, and they brought out a whole. Here's some more broken emulsion.
And then he just fucking. She looks at him and he just fucking smiles. He's like, "Yeah, bitch." He's like, "Maybe you like that." This is the scene where the glass breaks. So throughout this entire movie, Margot and Tyler's table like upset the flow because of stuff that Tyler does or Margot does. Just upset the flow of what Slovak wanted for the entire dinner, because as Tyler explains it, the dinner isn't just about the food. The dinner is about the experience, because
it's a story. There's always a story.
Yes, there is a story. I have to agree to a certain point. Like when you go to like fancy restaurants and stuff like that, you're there for the immersion of like relaxation and like the atmosphere, honestly. But Slovak takes it to a different level. Lillian, Jenna Tier's character, it kind of explains it, like whenever they're doing certain things. Like I think it was when this came out, she was like laughing about it because she was like, "Oh, this is funny. It's just one of his bits, I guess, for lack of a better word. You know, he always wants to present like a bigger thing than an actual meal. He wants to present a story, present a message. Tyler explains that every single one of his dinners is like this, where you have to figure out where you have to figure out what it is, and by the end, he'll explain it, or he'll tell you what the overall theme is. But yeah, the breadless bread basket. It kind of just looks like there's like little bits of soup, and then it's just like we're gonna put
and
paint.
then paint.
Yeah, we're just gonna put paint there.
Yeah,
Tyler loved every bit of it.
And this was like truly like we got like hints at it before, but like this is where truly Margot. We didn't feel like Margot was like, you know, really at all wanting to be there or meant to be there, because she was just refusing to like go along with the idea of it the whole time. He's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave your food on your plate? And she's like, there's no food.
Yes. Now for the convenience of both time, because we are running along a little bit, and to just have people watch the movie, I think we should sum some things up more thematically after we go over the chicken tacos. We'll go over everything will be wrapped up, but we're going to talk about the chicken tacos a little bit. So chicken tacos with scissors in it is what is served in the third course, and it is a very we are explained. Do you want to explain what Taco Tuesday?
Oh yes,
the Taco Tuesday.
So Taco Tuesday was a very special Tuesday in Chef Slovic's house, especially one Taco Tuesday in particular, where their father came home very drunk, and he beat both him and his mother. And after seeing his mother get beaten, he took a pair of kitchen scissors and stabbed them through his father's thigh. And so to recreate Taco Tuesday, they have some chicken. It was chicken cooked al pastor, with a pair of scissors stabbed into it, and then as well they had some tortillas.
These are tortillas.
These are tortillas. I love Elsa. Oh my god.
No. What is this?
How do you pronounce her? Hong Cho? Chow?
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, absolutely fantastic, amazing. Originally, that character was written to be like a white blonde woman, hence why her name's Elsa. Mm-hmm. But I think they were just like, fuck it, we want her to be the character, and she delivers everything perfectly. Mm-hmm. Honestly, if it's not Chef Slovic, Elsa is my favorite character in the whole movie.
Yeah, I have to agree.
And the tortillas are personalized for every single person. In some incriminating ways, like Tyler. They at the start of it, they said, we ask that you do not take pictures of this. And I believe for this movie they actually like went and found a way to be able to actually do this specifically for this movie. They laser engraved pictures into the tortillas. And they have a picture of Tyler taking a picture of a meal that they put in front of him.
So he's multiple pictures of him. He's taken a picture of each of the courses beforehand. So he has. Give him. There's 3 tortillas that he has, and it's of the first 2 courses and the amuse bouche.
Yes. For the food critic, it's all restaurants that she had previously reviewed that, because of her review, caused the restaurant to close.
Yep.
For the bank bros, it's their embezzlements.
Goodness gracious.
You like my term, the bank bros?
The Bank Bros.
For John Leguizamo, it's
What's one letter
it's
off?
him.
The Bank Bros.
But it's him in Chef Slovic's least favorite movie, Waking Mr. Sunshine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the older couple, we get a little bit more of an insight on
What?
on Margot's connection with them, because it's a picture of Margot with the older woman's husband. We're not. It's detailed later what connection it is. Margot's character's name, I believe, is actually. She has a different name. But she's a prostitute. She is a woman of the night. And the older husband. I'm just gonna go out and say it.
That is the best way I've ever heard someone say prostitute.
Have you ever a woman of the night, woman of the streets? I love that.
Sounds like a Batman character.
We got to make money somehow. Go off, Queen. But the husband is so messed up. He's so messed up. Because like he specifically paid for her, so that he could, get himself off. Because she looks like his deceased daughter, and he would have her dress up and act like her while he got to call her a good girl.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But the tortillas were delicious.
The tortillas. That's the important part.
And this is truly the turning point. This is where, like, even if you weren't clued in before, this is where you're like, okay, things are messed up in this movie.
People start yelling, shit hits the fan super quick with this.
The Bang Bros, oh god. It was Freudian slip. The Bank Bros, were like yelling about it, like, what is this? And this is where we get Elsa's best line delivery, where she comes over and like, they're tortillas. They're made of flour and water.
And they're just like, yeah, we know what it is, but what's on this? They're tortillas.
They're tortillas.
So, very obvious themes are being shown. They're airing out dirty laundry of these people. Everybody except Margot, because they didn't. This night was planned by Chef Slovic, except Margot wasn't a part of the plan. So,
she's a service worker.
yes,
And it's her job to decide whether she is going to be with her people in the kitchen, or not because she's a woman, because she's a service worker. Please don't cancel me. But
I know I don't watch movies, but leave me alone.
Whether she's with them or with the people outside.
Yes, and in interest of time, we could probably be talking about the themes of this forever.
Absolutely. There's so much to cover in this movie. It's such an amazing
There's so
movie.
much. But to wrap it more in a more digestible thing for you guys to consume, for us to push back on you. The themes of literally the rich eating the poor here are very obvious, right? A very Glass Onion, Knives Out type of situation, except it's done in the form of a restaurant workers feeding the upper class. So, I think the best part about it, in my opinion, is the relatability on the account of Margot. I am not a man of the night, but As a person who has worked jobs that weren't the best paying, working in a restaurant myself, like you can very obviously see where Slovik's coming from. It they explain it in the story itself about how it is his journey of trying to have people enjoy food has both been the best and the worst thing in his life because of people like Lillian, the food critics, the people who want to judge everything that he does, and the stresses that come from that, and the idea of you having to suck it up and just go on with life. It's very much expressed very well in the next course, the mess.
Oh my god.
We don't even eat anything, right? Oh no, they do eat it. They do get given pieces of him, right?
No, they're not given pieces of him. They're given pressure cooked vegetables, a fillet, a potato confit,
Yeah.
and
Oh, okay. Yeah,
beef
yeah,
chew and bone marrow. But then the guy also shoots himself in the head. Spoilers.
yeah. He shoots himself.
Watch
in the head.
the movie.
Richard also gets his
It's-
finger cut off.
What? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 courses. We're at 4 right
Yeah,
now.
and we're
There's so many more to see.
we're not going to go through each and every one of them in interest of both time and people to watch the movie. We are going to talk about Tyler's bullshit though.
Thank you. I was gonna beg.
Man's Folly is an interesting one, but I definitely think talking about Tyler's bullshit is more interesting for us.
Absolutely.
So, of course, it's very obvious themes that have already been explained to us. The Mess is the best illustration of if, honestly, like in an alternate reality, if Slovak couldn't like realize his dreams, or he couldn't obtain his dreams, that he would have just became the guy that shot himself.
Yes.
So taking that and then like also like comparing it to like the real world and the message that it's trying to give is that like, you know, the stresses of working in these jobs, the idea that these people put in maybe more hard work, effort, and mental strain than the people that are living on these clouds of money that they couldn't even.
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
Also, it's a lot like the actual restaurant industry as well, because people, like they say, the big thing that they say for the Mess is that they bring up one of the young chefs. It's Jeremy, Julian's sous chef, that they bring forward. He joined Slovak's kitchen to be able to learn from him, be like him, and he wants to be like him. He wants to be the next Slovak. But he never achieved that. He cannot achieve that. He will never achieve that, as Slovak says, and makes him admit in front of everyone. And that's unfortunately a lot like the regular restaurant industry, where like, you know, you can go and train under a chef at a restaurant. Like, if you want, you could train under Gordon Ramsay at Hell's Kitchen or whatever. You can work in a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, but you're not going to be Gordon Ramsay. If you ever leave that restaurant, if you ever get that opportunity to be able to leave and make your own restaurant, which happens very, very little for sous chefs, then you're not going to be the next Gordon Ramsay. You're going to be you. Mm-hmm. But idealizing these chefs like this, like they did in this movie, and trying to work towards something that large, that monumental, will break people.
Yes,
entirely.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And even to take it away from like the serving industry, it's something that can apply around across the entire board. Like, you know, no matter what you're working in, you have the pedestal that you place other people on, or the people get placed on from working somewhere. And whether or not you can measure up to what they have attained is either up in the air or there's such a far gap in between the two that it's like what happened in the movie. Like it's so far obtainable. You, I'm not saying this. Don't take this out of context. Instead of you trying to do it, you might as well off yourself. That's honestly the message that they're trying to give to people, is that this is honestly what happens to people, and it's a sad truth. But yeah, I think that we will go into Tyler's. Let's talk about Tyler's bullshit.
Let's talk about Tyler's bullshit.
Because I think after seeing Tyler the entire movie, it's beyond satisfying to see this happen.
Oh, absolutely.
But the repercussions of it are definitely nothing that I'd actually want to see. But the fact that it happened is like both jaw dropping and both, I don't know. It's
for sure.
You have to feel some type of pleasure from it, at least in like
before this, like, sometime between this and The Mess. It is brought to everyone's attention that nobody is really going to be able to walk away from this alive tonight.
Everybody died.
Everyone's dying. But one among them, Tyler, knew he and everyone there is going to die, which is one of the most messed up reasons why he knowingly brought Margot, a prostitute that he paid for the time.
Yes.
To be there. Because, from my understanding, he needed one other person with him.
Yeah, it wasn't something that he could go to solo. It needed to be a dinner date. Yes.
And so, naturally, she freaks out and she just lays into him and actually like, hits him really hard. Yeah. And that was a real slap. The cut that they used, the take that they used, I believe was the initial slap. And that was his honest to God reaction from getting hit. Which was great. It's very, very good. But Tyler, as Chef Slovak brought up, has always wanted to be one of them up there. As he's brought up throughout the night, he knows the processes. He has those machines at home. So why not join them? So he gives him a chef robe, and he is told that he is to make a dish for the chef himself.
Yes.
Tyler does not know how to cook.
Tyler is not a chef.
And Chef Slovak, like if you've been enticed so far to watch this movie, or at least watch part of it, at the very least watch Tyler's bullshit. It is so unbelievably funny because the chef is just leaning over him the entire time and being an absolute asshole. Being super patronizing towards him. Because the first thing that he does is he gets green onion, chops it up, and then just throws it into a pan.
Yeah, he grabs like green onions, shallots, butter, and then he's just like lamb. He's just literally throwing this stuff together. No thought or process.
Look at this new cutting technique that he is using that I am not privy to.
Yeah, when he said that, I was just like, oh, that's so mean.
Funny. It's so mean and so great. And then the Chef Slovak takes a bite of it and he's like, this food is undercooked lamb and an inedible, terrible sauce. And then the chef whispers something into Tyler's ear, which is honestly one of the main reasons why I will buy the physical version of this so I can hear the director's cut and get some like insight, because I want to know what he said to him, because it's got to be like truly the most devastating and heartbreaking thing in the word. Because as we find out later, Tyler went into the back and he hung himself.
Yes. Quite a dramatic turn of events. And it honestly, honestly one of my favorite scenes, just because it puts in perspective the idea and it what am I trying to say here? The themes of what Tyler represents of the wannabe, and I don't know. It's just it's I'm not saying that seeing this guy like lose it all is the best thing ever, but it's such an interesting conclusion to the character that we've seen up until this point. Someone so posh, because he's the introduction to these type of people for us in the movie. He's the first one we see when we're introduced to him and Margot, and he's really the gateway into it, because some of these people aren't even, they're really not that bad until we get to the tacos. But like him in general, he's very insufferable, and to see him being put in his place, it's satisfying and also sad. But also an interesting take when we look at the mess, because instead of it being someone who has worked his life away to do something, we have someone who's faked his way to the top.
Yeah.
Ending in the same result. But it's interesting to see this, and it's only like 1, 2, 3 dishes away from each other. But yeah, no, it I'm not sure. Do you want to talk about the where do you want? Where do you want to end this off?
We should leave the rest up to you guys.
We will. There is dessert, and the dessert. We will talk about this one last thing. The dessert. We're not going to go into too much detail, but the dessert is the last course. The last.
It's full of childhood innocence and good memories.
Yes,
and disgusting chocolate.
And I believe that it is a great full circle type of thing, because, as I've been saying, Slovik's. I believe this entire course is supposed to represent Slovik's life, and it ending off with this in the way that the movie ends is like a release of bliss because of what it represents. But go watch it, because the themes of it, the ending of it, the way that some of these scenes play out are just... They're just so interesting. It's a very simple movie, but just the utter 360 once you get past the first couple courses is just... It's interesting to watch.
Absolutely.
Especially since we left out a lot of bigger details. Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
It's awesome. It's so good. It's such a good way to end.
Yeah, no. Great movie. Definitely rated high up there. Definitely one of my favorite movies of this. I watched it in 2023, but it was a 2022 movie. Definitely one of my favorite movies of 2022.
Absolutely.
But yeah, go watch The Menu, guys.
Yeah.
And to wrap things up, thank you for watching another episode. If you want to get in contact with us, please do reach out on Twitter. I am at lying_mask.
I'm at Vincent Barlow 8.
And you can reach both of us at Domestic BF Pod on Twitter. Shout out to Ultimate Maverick X for the art. And yeah, guys, check us out for the next episode. Probably going to be Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumanium. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We will see you later.
Have a great day, everyone.